What's up, weebs? Welcome back to Anime Lane, the podcast where we take you down the yellow brick road of anime and have a look at everything it has to offer. As always, I'm your host, Notorious, and joining me once again today is Shaun.
Sup?
And Melina.
Sup?
It's... Why did that make us all laugh?
I didn't expect her to also reply sup. That's why I sort of went, oh, okay.
I tried to think of something original,
So
but
you
then
just
I
copied-
lagged
just
for a
copied
second,
Shaun.
and I was like,
Do what Shaun does. It's cringe.
It's time to get punked in the cyberest of cities in Cyber City Oedo 808, directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, written by Akinori Endo, music by Kaz Toyama for the original Japanese and American dubs, and Roy McFarlane for the UK dub. Animation production by Madhouse, originally released on VHS in Japan on June 21st and December 28th, 1990, and October 4th, 1991. Cyber City Oedo is available in the UK on Blu-ray from Anime Limited, and in the US from Discotek. Then we're getting Parental and Tokyo Godfathers, directed by Satoshi Kon, written by Kon and Keiko Nobumoto, music by Kiichi Suzuki and the Moonriders, animation production by Madhouse. It was released in theaters in Japan November 8th, 2003. Tokyo Godfathers is available in the US on Blu-ray from G-Kids, and the UK it's out of print, but it's pretty easy to find. Manga's Blu-ray release second hand. So yeah, we watched the G-Kids release because I imported that. It's kind of sad that two of Kon's movies are out of print in the UK. It's only Perfect Blue and Millennium Actress that are readily and easily available. Tokyo Godfathers and Paprika you gotta get second hand.
Yeah. Or I think Paprika was on Netflix last time I checked.
I don't know if it's still there.
That was like a month ago.
I'd find it weird if it was.
I'm bringing it up because it happened like a week after we recorded that episode,
okay.
and I was like, God fucking damn it.
I kind of don't know if Paprika's, or I guess Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers kind of licensing situation here, because obviously manga's no longer manga, it's Funimation, and then it was Crunchyroll, and I don't know if they still have the license.
I do know because I did check, like, just to make sure that you can buy Tokyo Godfathers on Prime Video.
Oh yeah, so it'll probably be available digitally.
Yeah.
Probably, I think both Paprika and Tokyo Godfathers are available digitally in the UK. Probably, I would say the only asterisk there is that it probably will not include the G-Kids dub, because that was there was no dub until G-Kids licensed it, I think 2 years ago.
Okay.
So it'll probably be subbed only.
Okay.
Which is how we watched it.
Yeah, we watched it subbed, and it was still pretty good.
I do want to give a quick nod to the dub, because the I don't know, the trans character.
I did one.
I was kind of trying to think specifically the best term for them.
Yeah.
And the G-Kids dub is actually voiced by a trans.
Oh, that's good.
VA. So that was pretty.
Yeah,
neat.
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I think we'll start with Cyber City. It's the biggest part here.
I do want to say, by the way, this is a Christmas special.
This is the Christmas special. Hello, Merry Christmas. Welcome.
Christmas.
Yeah, it's a Christmas special. I am wearing a Christmas jumper, and that's how I'm celebrating it.
T-shirt.
I am also wearing
No, you're
Christmas.
not.
No, you're not.
Stop.
Liar.
Sean,
She's deceiving you.
Sean is wearing a
Loki Christmas jumper.
Loki Christmas jumper.
Because we've just watched Loki season.
Yeah.
Well, and sort of enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was better than season 1.
Yeah. The last episode really saved it.
Yeah, and I'm wearing an Iron Maiden Christmas t-shirt.
Which is fitting, because Cyber City makes me want to fucking rock out. Especially the UK dub. Holy shit.
So, I kind of late in the game suggested that we watch the UK dub because I forgot to bring it up. I kept forgetting. So yeah, there's obviously a difference between the original Japanese version and the UK version, but all three of us have seen a bit of both.
Yeah,
so.
I think because I went dub, sub, dubbed.
Okay,
so first episode dubbed, second episode sub, the third episode dubbed.
I did first episode subbed, and then episodes 2 and 3 dubbed.
Sub dub.
Sub dubbed.
We all went this in different ways. I like that.
We all seen the best episode dubbed, at least, and that was episode 3.
I have to say, the opening theme is so funny in the sub.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, it's been stuck in my head. There's the endless game, silly game.
Yeah.
And I had to rewatch it just because I couldn't believe that.
It's
silly game.
It's such a different tone as well compared to the
absolutely,
UK.
because the UK one is so fucking metal.
Yeah.
I got pumped up just from like the opening.
Silly game.
And then I got to the sub and like the second one, and suddenly silly game.
Yeah.
The fucking whiplash.
It's very poppy, and then suddenly you're assaulted with rock and guitars for the UK dub.
I can't tell which one I like more. I'm gonna be honest.
I kind of prefer, and I don't know if it's because when I originally watched it, I watched it with the UK dub. Like that kind of just cemented it for me as like the best way. I still like the Japanese soundtrack.
I think
It's
by
good.
like the third one, I'd more solidified on the UK one, but I'm still mostly unsure to be honest. They're
Yeah.
both very different, but like they're both really good.
Yeah.
The Japanese end theme is better, though. I will say
Oh
that.
yeah, I really like the Japanese end theme. I think for the is it the third episode? One of the episodes, I think the UK version fits better because in the Japanese version it kind of starts playing before the credits roll, whereas I think it's better with like the silence that the UK version has before it comes in with the end.
That would make
theme.
sense for episode 3's ending.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let's actually get into it.
yeah. So, where do we start? So
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
With the worst of the three main characters as
Yeah.
the central guy.
Yeah.
I think, as I said to Shaun last night after he watched it, is Sengoku would probably be the character that grew on you if this was like a full TV series.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
You'd grow to love his asshole.
yeah,
I'd grow to
think he's
tolerate him.
Yeah.
I think he's the noble asshole, and
like so,
a sense, yeah, like
he's sort of got a heart of gold in there somewhere.
Yeah.
He's got the veneer of an asshole, but he's always kind of gonna do the right thing, because the whole thing of episode 1 is that he's wanting to save the girl in the lift, and then she practically never comes up again.
Yeah, I was gonna say that comes out of nowhere. By the
Yeah.
way, that love interest, and then she just sort of pops up very occasionally,
Yeah.
like right after.
Doesn't she get stuck in a lift again at the end in the last episode?
No.
It's a different girl.
She's a different girl. She's
Yeah.
going
Oh,
up the
okay,
left
okay.
to
Yeah,
kill
yeah,
the
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So too many lifts.
Too many
stuck.
girls and lefts.
Yeah,
I know.
you're thinking of the vampire girl
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
who looks
yeah.
very different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
she.
wasn't? Maybe I'm just mixing shit up at this point. I don't even know.
I can't remember if she actually pops up in the third episode at all.
She does.
Does she?
Yeah. I think Benton, which I keep wanting to say Ben 10.
Yeah.
Benton, I think like contacts her like once or twice.
Yeah. She's very much the woman in the chair.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Again, another character that probably would have worked really well had this been like a full TV series.
Yeah,
been
because
well
her
developed.
her sort of love interest with Sengoku makes no fucking sense to
No.
me because
No.
they barely interact with each other.
Yeah.
I think they mention once like they know each other from academy.
No, his thing is that she's just fresh out of the
Oh,
academy, so he
yeah.
doesn't want her immediately dying.
Yeah, you know that's
Fair
not
enough.
great.
Yeah. So I think I don't know I can't remember how it comes across in the English dub, but I'd say less of a love interest and more of like
A flirtationship sort of thing. or-
kind of. I think more just the sense of like, well, she's maybe a bit too innocent to die, so let's let
Like a
let's
sister-ish.
Kind
Yeah,
of,
but that makes
yeah.
that final scene in the first
Yeah.
episode kind of weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think for a first episode, because I watched the first and second like after each other, so they're kind of mixed in my
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
But
Makes sense.
it's fine for the setup, but it's definitely the weakest of the three.
I think it's
Yes.
a strange one to jump in on. I think
Oh, yeah.
it's because it's very meandering, I think, compared to the other two that are very kind of kinetic. You're moving from one thing to the other.
I also feel like the other two are a lot more character focused on like
Yeah.
their main sort of like spotlight on one of the three main characters, whereas Sengoku doesn't get that much of a spotlight,
I
even though
think
he's the
that's
main character of the guy.
problem with episode 1 is like each episode is character focused on a different character. So you got Sengoku for episode 1, Gogol for episode 2, and Benton for episode 3.
Which I love, by the way. That's a
Yeah.
good way to do it.
But I think the problem is that because Sengoku is episode 1, it also has the unfortunality of having to also introduce everybody else and the
Yeah.
whole setup, the whole spiel, the whole
World building and all
world
that.
building and all that, and it's very much a world building episode.
Yeah, and
in
it
that.
is great because it's like if you took Blade Runner but like pumped it up to anime 11,
Yeah.
which I fucking jive with so much. Like when the first episode started and we got that shot where he's looking out on like the space station,
Yeah.
I was immediately engrossed and into this already because I was like, this is what I live for right here.
Yeah.
And then he turned out to be like my least favorite character.
Yeah,
but whatever.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, it's very kind of like it's straightforward. Even the twist is kind of like
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't really land as
No,
much.
I was like, yeah, because I've seen it before. I was watching it, and I'm like, yeah, the guy that Sengoku finds is looking for, is his subconscious is like still around, and I was like, is his body still there? And then I forgot about the whole like cyber zombie brain thing.
Yeah, which is what I called it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, that is actually kind of strange.
What?
It's a little peculiar.
Vampires popping up in the third episode is stranger, but like
Absolutely.
in a way that
That came out of nowhere. But
in a way that kind of is done better.
they at least make a point to explain most of the vampire
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get to that more when we talk about that episode in full, but it feels somehow more grounded in the rules of that world compared to the cyber zombie brain that doesn't really
No,
get an
because their whole
explanation.
explanation
Yeah.
at the end is that they're talking the robot thing. Varsus?
I just called him trash bin.
So they're talking to him, and he's just like, the girl is asking like, oh, what do I put in the report? Because technically he was already dead. And Varsus is like, I don't know.
Fucking no.
And then Sengoku's like, well, he was already dead. So, and I'm like, this is not an answer. We're just going round in circles here.
Just
He's dead. It's like, yeah, we said
We've
that.
said this.
Just say clung on to life for like
Yeah.
15 years. There you go.
Oh god. Yeah, episode 1's kind of forgettable in the long run.
It honestly is, because if I try to think of the major plot lines, I'm like, because it's
Tower.
immediately overshadowed by Goggles' episode.
Yeah.
Because
Google.
Goggles.
Well, they call him Goggle in like the Goggles in the
Yeah.
sub, but in
Yeah.
the dub he's Goggle.
So
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
Goggle is the actual name, but I have a feeling Goggles comes from just the way they pronounce.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it is immediately overshadowed by his episode.
I think really looking back on it, the first episode just sort of feels like a sort of not like a Die Hard tribute, but it sort of feels inspired like they just want to do like a Die Hard full out action thing first before they got into the more character pieces of the second two. Because Die Hard's all about like fighting for like a tower and stuff. You've just searched up Die Hard.
Yeah, I was double checking what year it came out. 'Cause I was like, which came first?
Yeah, definitely Die Hard because that was
Yeah.
late 80s.
88, yeah. That's the thing as we were talking about while I was writing up the introductions here, is like this is very much the end of the bubble era of Japan, and as like writing the dates down, I'm like 1990 feels super late
Yeah.
for something like
does.
this.
Because when I looked this up, when I would look this up like right after watching, I was expecting to be like 87
Yeah,
or something,
yeah.
or like roundabout Demon City's sort of
Yeah.
release, which I think was 87 when we checked.
Uh,
We're gonna check right now.
that was
If you want to find a more confident,
88.
more
Yeah.
confident answer to that, you should check out the previous episode.
you mean like 3 episodes ago?
Yes, exactly. It's still
You should
previous,
check
isn't
out
it?
One of our previous.
Our Halloween special,
Yeah. Watch our stuff.
1988, same year as Die Hard.
Okay, yeah. So I was expecting that period, but no, it's 1990. to
That would have been
1991.
impressive for Kawajiri to have worked on Wicked City, then Demon City within a year of each other, and then also done this.
He
I
loves
mean,
cities. Loves cities.
I mean, Japanese work culture.
Very true, very true.
We've talked about that also in a previous episode. Sorry.
Yes, the Shinzo Abe one, which is
He still haunts my nightmares.
I still can't not think of that clip of Kim Jong Un now, where he's like crying, asking the people of North Korea to have babies, and the quote tweet I saw was, he's crying because he knows what happens to Abe. And I was like, oh, that should not be funny.
No, it really shouldn't. If you feel bad about that joke, you can cut this part out of the
Oh no,
episode.
I
No,
won't.
keeping it.
I'll keep it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Episode 2.
episode 2.
Episode 2, there's not much talk about episode 1.
No, Gogol goes on an adventure. He lives in a camper van type thing.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
He's just going around.
Yeah.
He's just vibing.
I feel like it takes a while for this episode to like get its hold. As
Yeah.
well, though.
It's not until not Fujiko comes in.
Yeah.
So Fujiko rating, by the way.
Yeah, they have such a cool androgynous character,
Hmm.
and then they overly sexualize all the women.
Well, yeah, it's the 90s.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah,
it
but
is
still,
that era.
I saw, because as soon as I saw Benton,
Benton,
Benton.
Benton.
As soon as I saw them, I was like, "That is so cool!" Because you're in the beginning, you're like, "Oh, that's very feminine traits with like heels, with long nails."
The
long
first sort
hair.
of shot you see of him is him doing like that sort of weird bend down sort of position.
Yeah.
Like
Which I immediately was like, I wonder which one of them is going to go, ooh, woman. Oh, no.
No,
that was me.
I knew it.
and
But I was still cool with that after
Yeah,
the
yeah,
reveal
yeah.
he was a guy. I was like, oh, you're still my favorite character though, just from that.
like absolute amazing character. And then it was just a shame for me to just see, oh, women just don't get their body covered at all.
Yeah, like
Right.
she's got like basically a bra top.
Yeah. Like he's looking all cool with his like nice cinched
Biker
waist and
job,
like
yeah.
cool get up, and then it's like, oh, this is my battle armor as a woman. I'm like, all your organs are like
yeah, like half your leg is like
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. And then all her organs do get.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's there, then she dies. That's kind of her
Yeah.
thing.
I genuinely don't know her name.
Part of me's thinking Claire, but I could be wrong.
That sounds familiar. Claire.
I thought, is that not the vampire lady?
That's the thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, the female characters aren't as memorable as they should be. No.
Of course, woman. Woman. That's not her name. It's just there's a.
There's
looked
just a
up the
character called Woman.
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 Oh, that's great. It just has the main characters.
Oh,
None of them
great.
have images either.
No,
No.
that's
That's not
just
helpful. Hi, Darth
ideal.
Maul.
Her.
Her.
Yeah. So.
Black-haired girl.
I will say, I think as a character, she was cool.
Oh yeah.
Design-wise, yeah, I think could have been a lot better.
Was
but
she just a plot device for someone to get angry?
yes, but she was a very
Sarah.
cool plot device.
Sarah. That's
I knew it
a
was a very
boring
like.
fucking name.
I knew it was like a very English
Yeah.
name.
You might have been thinking of Clara because Doctor Who just happened and stuff, but
Oh yeah, you got that Gendor Carey looking motherfucker there.
yeah.
But yeah, she just kind of appeared, kicked some ass, then got her ass
Died.
kicked.
Yeah.
I mean, she was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was cool while she was there. for
Yeah, she
those
was there for like
maybe-
20 minutes.
Did she
but
get fucked up by the robot, or did the robot show up after she got fucked up?
I think
Oh, I think
she was driving the sort of truck. And
she drowned, didn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and she
that's
drove
right,
into
yeah.
the river because the robot just was like, boing.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
love
I'll just
the-
get out of the way.
I love the introduction of the robot and like the opening
Yeah.
of the episode.
A
That's
weapon
very,
to surpass Middle Gear.
a very kind of Terminator-esque
Yeah,
type
absolutely.
episode. Yeah, again, probably good that it came out during the bubble economy because that fight between Gogol and the robot would have looked like ass had it been slightly later on.
Yeah.
It was a very epic battle, though.
Oh, yeah.
Because they set it up with, like, Google just... He doesn't have a choice. He just kind of has to go in there and say, oh, fine, I'll kick his ass.
Yeah.
By the time he realizes what's happening, it's too late to stop it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because, you know, they have no choice.
yeah.
Because they are prisoners-ish.
They've got like a sort of deal. They're cyber criminals.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
they take a deal with like the police where like if you do these missions for us, we'll and as you complete missions, we'll reduce your sentence, which is
Yeah.
like hundreds of years because it's a dystopia.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, of course.
They all have like 300-year plus sentences, and
Yeah.
like they only get like a 10-year reduction
for each
per
mission,
criminal. Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't take crazy long.
Yeah, but they keep fucking them up. So
Yeah.
I also feel like none of them have had any of their sentences reduced because I feel like they're always just gonna look for a way
Yeah.
to go. You didn't
Oh,
fulfill
no,
this
wasn't
properly.
Yeah,
good
like
enough.
that basically happened at the end of Sengoku's episode,
Yeah.
didn't it? Like he didn't do one specific thing that would have probably fucked up the mission overall. So
I think it
the
kinda
sentence got like
happens-
added on.
Yeah, I feel like it happens to all of them as well.
Yeah. Because dystopia.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that they showcase at some point they are working on trying to get out of this.
Yeah.
Like, because they have this collar thing that could explode.
Yeah.
Make
Very
them
much Battle
explode.
Royale.
It's
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
It's basically Suicide Squad.
Yeah, this is some sort of Suicide Squad.
Oh my
That's
god.
the joke. I made the joke. It's the joke.
And I love that they introduced this character. He looks all menacing with like his tiny little things. And I believe is it Ben 10 that's there? Or is it...
It's Gogol because that's
Gogol,
the beginning
yeah.
of
Oh, yeah,
Gogol's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
episode.
And we just see him from afar, and his head just blows up.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh,
At first, I thought
He
that was
gets pretty
Sengoku.
far. He only has 2
Yeah.
fuses left
Yeah.
to remove
Yeah.
before he fucks it up.
At first, I thought that was Sengoku at the beginning, and I was
No.
like, did he just fucking die? Is this Thrones? Are they gonna die one by one in each
No, no,
episode?
no.
But no.
you introduce a character, you kill a character. That's how it works.
I mean, for anime.
Yeah. But then it turns out they're not really dead later somehow, so, you know.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
How does that work?
I don't know.
Just a brain in a jar at that point?
Yeah, I like Gogo's episode. I do find it funny in the dub. Neither of you seen this because I'm the only one that watched episode 2 dubbed. But when he finds out the weakness is like the Sonic, you know,
Yeah.
The Venom's symbiote
I don't
weakness.
know how it comes across in the dub, but obviously Gogo shouts to the robot and he's like, "Here, record this." And in the dub, he's like, "Hey, record this," and then he just suddenly picks up the the big fucking steel beam, but he's like, and
Oh
I'm
no,
like,
it's like effortless in the.
Yeah. Like, he picks that up
Record
without
this,
any problem.
bonk.
because in the dub he spends like a solid 10 to 20 seconds just like, and I'm like, record you shitting yourself.
Would be hilarious if it just looped that.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I meant the sound of the beam hitting the thing. So sorry.
I will say, you can tell this dub was very much an early anime dub.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love this dub. I love this type of dub that manga used to kind of specialize in at time because it's so
Silly.
dumb. Yeah, it's in that era of like, oh, if we throw in swearing,
Yeah, it'll be adult and cool.
Yeah,
Cool and edgy.
And edgy, because
but at the same time, I sometimes feel like the dub had more.
character.
Personality.
Not necessarily that, but I think at times I felt like it was more subtle than the Japanese version because I had the subtitles on sometimes during episode 2. And like there were times where characters were talking and I'm like, oh no, the dub kind of nailed this better. And like because the subtitles would either over explain it or like they
Okay.
would say kind of like
Yeah.
That does sound about right, yeah.
yeah, it's weird. It's hard to kind of put into words unless you've kind of sat there and
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of read both or listened and read the subtitles. But yeah, no, it does have way more character for sure. I feel like had it not had that dub, I feel like only people who really knew Yoshiaki Kawajiri's work would have
like,
found
went
it
out on this,
and kind of. But then again, I think Wicked City was only really known for having like a similar dub that none of us could stomach because of the character
Voices,
accents. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say there was one part in episode 3 where I did like go and check like the differences between the sub and the dub, and it's when Benton is about to like drive off in like search of like the vampire woman.
Are you talking about the best line and the whole dub?
Yeah, which goes, but the thing is, it goes way against his character up until that point, even in the dub. So I was like, okay, I gotta check what the subtitles was, because like, in like the subtitles, like they're driving off, like Sengoku like says something, but then like Benton goes all poetic, like vampires are tragic creatures of the night and stuff.
Can I?
Yeah, but then in the dub, what does he say?
They be bitches.
You wouldn't recognize a vampire if it jumped up and bit you on the end of your dick. Now fuck off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like even in the dub though, that goes a bit against his characterization up until that point. I feel so. I was like, I gotta go back. And
I
check
kind of
what that
like
was.
it as like showing that they don't really get along. None of them are friends.
No.
And especially Benton and Sengoku kind of have
Yeah,
some tension between them.
Yeah.
That's still one of my favorite lines, honestly.
Yeah, that being the first episode I watched with the dub, it just all the characters I felt like I knew, they were just kind of like,
No, you didn't.
no, we're just gonna dial them up a bit.
Yeah. Everything's up to
What?
11.
And I totally forgot about that line, but now that you reminded me, I literally had a moment of, what?
Yeah, that again.
What?
That's why I went back and was like, I gotta see what the fucking sub of that was, because that just sounds so 90s anime. We added this in the dub.
Oh, I've seen that clipped on YouTube so many times as like the worst line in anime dubbing, and I'm like, no, that's the best
No,
one.
no.
What are you on about?
I
None
won't
of
call
you
it the
have
worst. It's
a
hilarious.
sense of humor. Oh,
It's like the one time Benton's like, yeah, I have a fucking personality.
Yeah. It's the kind of like fight between him and like Vampire Man number 2 at the end that's very different, and the dubbing is like slightly more subtle as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't check on the subs on that, so
it's very kind of like on the nose if you watch the Japanese version, whereas like I feel like they've kind of dialed it down a little bit. Which was interesting because I'm like, that's not in character for this at all.
No. Usually it's the opposite.
Yeah. I really like
episode 3. I just realized. I'm so sorry.
I think we kind of run out of things to talk about with Gogol's episode.
Yeah.
But I think episode 3 is probably my favorite.
Absolutely, yeah. It's my favorite in terms of the story, and it's got my favorite like the 3 characters as well. So
I think the pacing's really good in it as well because it's very kind of. I think there's a structure to it that's a bit more definable, but also means that like the last kind of act gets to be a bit more slow paced and a bit more kind of like
climactic,
contemplative as well. Contemplative. I don't know.
One of those.
It gets you thinking.
It gets you thinking.
Use your brain, kids.
Yeah, when he's talking about the stars is also more subtle in the dub than it is in Japanese too.
I was surprised at how well like the dub had pulled that off, because up to that point it was very, in your face.
Yeah. Yeah, episode 3 is really cool because like it's suddenly just vampires.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they tried to hint at it with, we have these bodies and we're like circulating blood through them, and that you're supposed to connect to vampires and they need to drink blood to survive.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
And I was also like, you can't do that. You can't just have something and be like, it's the same. It's the same. Like, no.
The episode opens with literally someone getting bitten.
Yeah, it's almost like the same as like fucking the opening of Vampire Hunter D.
Yes.
Which I was so confused. I was like, is this the same fucking series?
Funnily enough, that would have been like a decade later because Vampire Hunter D would have been
that was late 90s.
Yeah.
Or 2000s.
Yeah.
Damn. It's amazing how, I'm going to be honest, this episode was better than Vampire Hunter D.
It was 100%. I like Vampire Hunter D.
Story-wise, absolutely.
Yeah. And I say that as someone who also did like Vampire Hunter D. Like, that's one of the ones I think about putting on again sometimes. But yeah, I really liked this episode, even though like it sort of forgoes sci-fi, like cyberpunk-esque to just go into a bit of fantasy.
I think it combines them nicely because they're in kind of like space orbit.
Yeah.
Not space orbit. They're in orbit. They're in a space station thing where people are like cryogenically frozen.
Yeah. I'm more thinking like the fantasy part because like they go into like an explanation on like why they're immortal and like why they drink blood as a sort of like virus. And, like, but then they just say, oh, it also unlocks latent psychic powers.
By the way.
And I'm like, oh, you just didn't fucking try with that part.
But didn't they explain away in was it episode 1 or 2 where it's like, oh yeah, they used like pressure lifts or something like that to explain someone also floating before?
If they did, I must have missed it.
Yeah. I mean, the robot things had this pressure thing as well, like as a weapon or something.
Yeah.
Where they just kind of made
sort of
people
sent everyone
explode.
go back. Yeah.
I don't know. I love the vibes of this, and I like the dub and stuff. But I think like between viewings, it can be very forgettable, even in the most memorable moments. So like it's something I vibe with, but at the same time, like I'll definitely acknowledge it's not like the strongest piece of work from Kawajiri, let alone this era of anime.
I will say this was better cyberpunk than Akira.
I mean Akira goes into such a strange direction though. Again, Akira's good, but like only from like a spectacle standpoint, in my opinion.
I know I'm probably not supposed to understand most of Akira, but like I still don't think that makes that really jive with me too much.
I think
outside of just visuals.
I think we kind of talked about that in the Akira episode where it's like it's just a kind of thing of where they've taken the beginning of the manga and the very end and left out 4 or 5 volumes with the material and just went
nice. I should read the manga.
Yeah, I should too.
But yeah, this did all the cyberpunk stuff way better for me.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think it also has more of the tone and style of it than Akira. Akira kind of had the city, but that was only like to a certain extent. I think it's kind of like earlier version of like Night City from Cyberpunk,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's surrounded by like the wastelands type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool. Very 90s, very much gets the neurons firing when I'm
Oh, yeah.
watching it.
Like I said, the moment like the first shot came up, I was hooked and I was
Yeah.
ready.
So you saw the conversation between Sengoku and the robot in episode 1, I think, when he's gonna go into the
Yeah.
where he's like tells the robot to fuck off, and the robot's like, fuck off, what do you mean by this?
Yeah.
Like, you're not using this term correctly.
Yeah, like he searches like vocabulary
Yeah.
banks and stuff and he can't find, and I'm just like, robot, you just shut up.
He's like, fuck means to fornicate. In this context, I do not understand what fuck off means.
At that point, I'm actually with Sengoku and I was like, just shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. Just shut the fuck up.
Take a fucking joke, dude.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just turn you off.
Yeah. I don't think it's Kawajiri's strongest. It's the most enjoyable, I
Yeah.
think.
Out of the stuff we've watched of his, I think this is the one I definitely had the most fun watching.
Yeah.
It was definitely just, I don't want to say relaxing, but it's something, it just kind of takes you in and you're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Hit me.
I think especially if you
I'm
were
ready.
to, like, sit down and watch all 3 episodes with like the English dub, you know, not like what we did where we experimented and kind of
Yeah.
done.
Look, we wanted to see the
Yeah.
differences.
Yes.
Yeah, if anyone's wondering about the US dub, it's the exact same voice actors, it's the same lines and stuff, but the soundtrack swapped to the Japanese version. We got the completely not reorchestrated because it's not orchestra.
No, but like a completely redone soundtrack.
We got a rescored version with Rory McFarlane's better soundtrack. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say,
Oh, that yeah. I think they're good for different reasons, but I think overall, yeah, I did like the UK
yeah,
dub version
I
more.
think the rock soundtrack fits just a bit
Yeah.
better.
It definitely makes it more 80s
Yeah.
than it already was, because I was ready to like put some fucking Metallica on like right after.
I think the UK dub actually has more incidental music than the Japanese version does, because I noticed watching episode 1 that there was practically no music at all in the Japanese version. It's kind of like very restrained, I guess, whereas like it's not all the time, but there's definitely more music in the UK version.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't know if anyone has anything else to say. I'm kind of
Just to bring up the soundtracks again, I'm gonna bring this up because of course I am. It reminded me of fucking Sonic CD and that whole soundtrack situation, because that had 2 soundtracks as well based on
okay.
regions. But the thing is, it was the Japanese one in that one that was way better and fit the tone of the game more, whereas like the US one was a bit more sort of pop-ish.
right.
Whereas like the Japanese one was more like trance techno sort of like thing, which jived more. And weirdly enough, I'm just bringing it up because this whole situation reminded me of that. Only in this situation, it's the Western one which had the better soundtrack.
I think that it's mainly down to like at the time they were kind of aiming for that counterculture, audience. They
Definitely the punk.
It was very much kind of like the thing in the late 90s, early 2000s to like pump up the dialogue and to make it it was called 15ing, where you would add in all the stuff that would get a 15 rating, so that way it was on the shelf and people could see it and go, oh, yeah. It's not for the kids, it's for the adults.
The moment you said 15 thing, I immediately understood.
So that was manga's thing back in the day, because I mean, not that it needed to happen to like Demon City or Wicked City at all, because that would have gotten probably an 18 at the time.
Yeah. Even with just the fucking, what's his name? He's not the guy in Dragon Ball, but he's like the guy in Dragon Ball, the old pervy guy. What's his name?
Master Roshi.
Yeah, the Master Roshi character probably
Yeah.
would have gone at a fucking 18.
I mean, probably the tentacle rape scenes.
How did I forgot about that? I wiped that from my mind.
The thing that someone actually commented on that got me like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
We love our commenters.
We love our commenters, but that one was a bit...
It's a bit much.
Yeah, because we all seen the comment, and it was something like... I don't even remember what it said, but it was...
Yeah, it was very much like that. Oh, you've seen nothing yet. You
It
should
was-
watch more.
Oh, wasn't it like, oh, but this is a gateway to? Or
Yeah,
something?
Yeah,
because
and
they left like a one-line comment, and I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, and we were like, to us, it sort of seemed like, do you want us to like watch hentai?
And
That's
then they
not what we're
immediately
doing.
replied with like, "Oh well, if you've seen this, then you got to watch more hentai on the show." And I'm like, absolutely the fuck not.
It's not that
let's
kind of
let's
show.
talk about the storyline here.
Exactly.
We're here for the
what-
plot.
She's
Talk
stuck in the
about.
washing machine.
Where will this go? I am so curious.
Oh,
I like the
there you
subtle
go.
commentary here.
Oh, that's where it's going. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Not where I expect.
I'm just gonna bring it back because this is gonna go fast. I don't know why, but for me, the Japanese version was really reminiscent of Bonnie Tyler. I don't know how.
Do you mean the opening or?
Yeah, just the opening, and I think the credits a bit less, but still a bit.
It's the same.
Yeah.
singer,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was just giving me Bonnie Tyler vibes,
Fair.
which
I
I
can
like.
kind of get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not in the lyrics.
No.
Silly game.
Silly game. There's just also a few other English lines like, "Hold me, don't let me go." Like, let
Do
me
not.
go. But that's I love some bad English.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we
Like,
all do.
I don't want to bring up Eurovision, but Eurovision English is the same as like Japanese.
That's like half the reason to watch Eurovision.
yeah, exactly. Just the things. I guess that rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit weird to say that, but okay. I guess it's grammatically correct, but
I think my favorite thing about some Japanese versions of like English is that you'll listen to a song and it's not until you look at the lyrics and go,
oh, that's English.
"Oh, that was meant to be in English."
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Naruto opening called Silhouette, and I'm like, where's the word silhouette in this song? And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I cannot hear it in the chorus. And then I looked up the lyrics, and I went, "Oh, they just can't fucking pronounce it." And then I realized that like so many of the lines had like English words in them that you just cannot recognize. Like they
Yeah.
have goal line, and it's like goru line, and I'm like,
Oh.
What?
what?
They're trying so hard.
And it's like-
I appreciate it,
Yeah,
but
and it's Shiruet, and I'm like,
Oh.
okay, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah, early K-pop had the same issue.
Yeah.
like, but it's still fun. I enjoy it.
Does it ever catch you off guard when you're listening to like music in another language, and then you find out the singer's bilingual, by they very effortlessly switch to English, and you're like, that's
Huh. Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah, no,
always
I know.
catches me off guard.
Yeah. There's some. I think within Blackpink, there's someone who's like Australian.
Yeah.
So first of all, to hear someone who I thought only spoke like Korean and a tiny bit of English to have a full Australian accent, just kind of was like, what? What? How?
I think my favorite thing is like the
Hackles
compilation.
Bales for real.
Yeah. I think my favorite compilation is like K-pop stars on like American TV, and they're like, "So what's it like?
Yeah.
Coming to America?" And then one of them's just like, "I was born here.
I live
And I
here.
was like, well, it's nice to be back because I grew up here. I
Yeah,
went
like
to
goes
school
full Texan.
here.
Yeah.
I went here and it's nice to be
Why
back.
have you no, pretty lady?
They still have the Texan attitude.
Yeah, exactly. But it only comes out when they speak English.
Yeah. Like
And then-
normally very reserved.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And because it's an America morning TV, like all of them are always like, "Oh, I was not expecting that. I don't know where to go from here."
You thought wrong, my good bitch.
Yeah. We're way off topic.
I know, but this is great. I love this conversation.
Also, just to kind of really stick with the K-pop thing, because I'll have nowhere else to bring this up. Because I've been listening to Stray Kids a little bit recently with their new album coming out. I've been getting more videos about them feeding into my algorithms, and I love seeing people react to Felix. His voice, he's got like the very deep voice.
I think so. Yeah.
Because he does not look like he would. He just looks like your standard Asian guy, right?
Okay.
Blonde hair, He's kinda
K-pop Asian.
K-pop Asian
Yeah, I was
guy.
gonna say.
And then he starts singing, and the amount of people who just pause it and are like,
What?
"What?
Wait a minute.
Why?" Because he's like, "Hold on, you know what? I'll fucking."
Oh, here we go.
Okay, and you're doing it on the phone. Do
I
not
know.
scuff up.
Ooh.
I gotta try to remember which song it is. He immediately starts singing on.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I do appreciate that because I have no idea what you guys are fucking talking
I think it's
about.
this one.
Because I don't K-pop.
Is it this one?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Hold
Oh,
on.
I can't wait to get this copyright claim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think the mic's picking it up.
I can hear it.
Run!
And,
The French are coming.
So he looks like this. Oh, he's Australian as well.
Of
Nice.
So that's what he looks like.
That's amazing.
So people immediately hear him and they're like, huh? Huh?
That's awesome. I love that. I love disconnects like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. So scores.
So scores, yeah.
Scores.
Oh yeah, scores.
I think it's a solid 7. I enjoy it way more than that, but I don't think I could give it more than that.
Yeah, I was gonna go with. It was near like a 7 or an 8, but I think 7
Yeah.
is more like closer, really.
6.8.
I cannot.
6.8.
No.
Yeah. We draw the fucking line at like 0.5.
Just in case I ever have to do average scores at any point for compilations or anything, please save my fucking sanity and only do 0.5s
Okay.
or
If you have
round
to do
numbers.
points.
Even though it's closer to 7, I'm more gravitating towards 6.5.
Fair enough. You are
Yes.
the least sci-fi
Yeah.
of the three of us.
But
So.
it has been one of the sci-fi ones I've enjoyed more.
Really,
Maybe
this one?
I don't know how.
Maybe
I
you
mean-
actually do like sci-fi.
Maybe it was the fact that it opened with just the weirdest fucking opening track. I was like, fuck yes, silly games, let's go.
So that's it. We just gotta get you in the right mood immediately, and you'll be hooked forever.
Oh my god.
Again, it started off pretty weak, but like slowly pulls itself like together.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah.
I think that's the biggest shame of it, is it's like it feels like there's potential for like it to be spun off into a TV series.
yeah.
Yeah, like there's no continuation,
No.
like at all past this, and I was very kind of shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of like looking into it to see if they intended to do anything beyond the 3 episodes, and I don't think they did.
No, not from what I've seen either.
But yeah, I'm surprised this has never been revived at all or anything for
Yeah.
TV.
It's around that time, you never know.
Yeah, Ninja Scroll got it back in 2010, I think, and that got like a TV series. And I think this is like prime for like a kind of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex type thing where it's like very character and episodic
Yeah.
Nice and
focused.
gritty.
With
We
like
will,
maybe
we will get to that
some
eventually, by the way.
building, yeah, with like some kind of like interwoven story maybe.
Yeah.
Because that was the interesting thing about standalone complex, is that you had standalone episodes and you had complex episodes. Like literally, when you watch somebody would pop up with that at the beginning of the episode. And so standalone were what they are
Yeah.
on the tin. Standalone, they're character focused. They focus on like a very individual thing to the story. And then complex would build into a larger narrative.
Yeah, okay.
And I think Cyber City would work really well
Yeah.
with that sort of
sure,
idea and that
yeah.
structure.
It's a good format for it.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I-
Madhouse are probably never going to let go of it, but sadly, Madhouse aren't really doing a whole lot of good these days.
It's an inevitability. Crunchyroll's gonna get it. If you want to hear more about that,
Fucking get it.
The thing is,
wanna hear-
Crunchyroll have done originals before and they've all been absolutely trash.
yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah,
If you want to hear more about that, we'll listen to our Monopoly episode.
yeah, that is
Where we
out.
play Monopoly.
Exactly. We'll do it for Nap one of these days.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Cyber City. We'll move on. Holy shit.
Oh.
We'll move on to Tokyo Godfathers.
Oh.
If just like us, you just looked at how far we're in, I'm sorry.
Oh, we
Yeah.
still have half a thing to talk about. It's the Christmas special.
It's been a while since we've
It's
gone.
the most wonderful time.
of the year.
It's been a while since we've went full 90 minutes. So that's nice because I've been looking at a lot
It's
of
a
them.
Christmas special. It's done intentionally. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's why we spent the last 40 minutes not talking about the Christmas thing.
The amount of them recently that I've looked at, and I've like, that's not even like a full hour. It's like,
Yeah.
like 55, which is so yeah. We'll make up for that.
This is us making up for it right now.
Yeah, though it's funny doing the compilations now. Because I edited the Lupin one and then the Galaxy Express one, and Lupin, was it Mystery of Mamo and Adieu were in the same episode? No, one of the Lupins and Adieu were in the same episode.
Yeah.
And it was an hour and a half. And an hour of it was Lupin, and 20 minutes of it
shocker.
was Adieu.
Shocker.
We're balanced in the stuff we talk about.
You can tell where our favoritism lies.
Yeah.
So I think even though that's a compilation, it is not longer than an hour for the Galaxy Express one.
Christ. And that's sad because you really like Galaxy Express.
I do, yeah. Anyway, Tokyo Godfathers, or the final movie that we had to watch for Cone.
And the actual Christmas related
The
thing
actual
in this Christmas
related thing,
special.
this Christmas special. Merry
La la
Christmas,
la
guys.
la 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 la.
I think this is possibly tied for my favorite movie from Cone. It's tough because Perfect Blue is the other one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend last night, and it's like, it's hard because Cone doesn't have a bad movie.
No.
He just has, to me, Paprika, where I'm like, eh.
Yeah, Paprika's the closest for me.
The lowest in terms of like how much no, it's hard to put into words because it's like it's not a bad movie.
It's
I
not
did
bad.
not enjoy it.
There's just some things about it where I'm like, eh.
Yeah,
It feels like it was overboard in Paprika for me.
I think it's his weakest, but it's not at all his like. It's not at all like a bad movie.
Yeah, like there's so much worse you could
Oh
watch than
yeah,
Paprika.
we have watched worse. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I think Tokyo Godfathers being his most grounded and like kind
most
of
close to reality.
Yeah,
Definitely the sanest, yeah.
it made it like just such a joy to watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was such a
Especially-
fun movie.
Yeah.
Even though there are some not fun elements.
And for it being more grounded, like it wasn't kind of like dialed back from his sense of editing or animating things. Like
His
characters.
humor was still very much
Yeah,
there.
very much. I noticed it with Jin in like the last 20 minutes when he finally picks himself up a bit and like gets like a sort of motivation. He becomes a lot more like a con character.
Yeah.
Which I loved. It was great.
Yeah,
That was good
'cause
to
he
see sort of
suddenly-
develop.
He's very animate at that point, and
Yeah.
you know the way he's animated kind of reflects that
Yeah.
as well. He's very fluid.
At that point, he's got to get da baby.
Da baby.
Da baby.
So I watched this one with Manuel because it had Godfathers in the title. I was like, yeah, I'll watch that.
Fucking, I'm not.
Oh, I'm not going there.
And so, like, 15 minutes in, he just went, you know, this is not what I was expecting.
No.
No.
Then the wedding sequence happened. And
Did
he
you
was
not
like,
give him the
"Huh?"
synopsis that we
No,
put
I-
on Trello?
I go in blind. I did show him, like, oh, you know, it's from the director of Perfect Blue. And Paprika was
Did
like,
you
"Oh, I
not
like
show him
this."
the poster that's on the Trello
Yeah.
page?
Yes. I showed him.
And he still thought it'd be a mafia movie?
Yes!
I mean, there was crime syndicates
There
at one
was,
point,
but
Yeah, and like, so in the wedding scene, we were both like, huh?
it's
Huh?
very
Is
likely.
it happening? Yeah, but that's not the focus.
No.
Can I just say, just to go into this right now, the Spanish guy in that who shoots up, he disappears. He disappears after that. We spend more time with his wife.
Yeah.
His wife.
Well, wife.
I remember watching it and I just messaged Shaun randomly like, well, I couldn't have expected this, and just sent him a gift that was like, well, now I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah,
I was
to which-
happy
no,
to have Manuel next to me, who was like, oh, that's the husband. She just said that's the husband and that's the father.
The parts that we could all very easily understand the
duh.
context.
we got that. I know what madre means.
yeah. Those were the words I recognized.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I was
That's
like,
high school Spanish that we learn and remember.
oh my god.
I just find it funny how like it's the Spanish like crime like gangster guy that's introduced first and then he disappears the moment they enter that house and
Yeah.
we spend more time
Yeah.
with the wife.
and
Yeah.
you never see him even when like
he's-
Miyuki leaves or anything.
He's
like
gone. He
Yeah.
faded out.
Yeah.
You know, wow.
That. And it never really comes up why he tried to kill.
No, well they say it was like it's like a rival crime syndicate thing on like the radio, but like it's not confirmed. or
I don't
anything.
really get that at all though, because
No.
if he was part of a crime syndicate, it doesn't look like he's part of one where he's living and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ugh. I just love the interaction of what's her name? I don't Miyuki. Her interactions with him, as in he's just kind of talking to her,
Yeah,
and
like-
she's just responding both Japanese and broken English.
I love
Please.
I love the fact that this guy is speaking to her in confident Spanish as if she's going to know. Like she should just know, even though he's in Japan and she's a Japanese woman. And he's so confused, like, why don't you speak Spanish? And it's like, because this is Japan.
I mean,
My
working in a hotel with certain nationalities, there are some that will just show up and start rambling at you. Like, What?
I'm so sorry, sir.
It's very unintentional, but I do find it funny where like he's like dragged her out of the hotel and they're like standing outside and he just suddenly looks at her and starts speaking and the subtitles just suddenly go Spanish. And I'm like, yeah,
Back subtitles.
I guess.
Yeah, I immediately just turned to my mom. What? Yeah,
Who's Italian?
but he speaks Spanish.
Oh, I didn't know
I
that.
did not know. I do like that they don't translate it because it does
Same.
kind of make you feel like Miyuki in the sense that you don't understand what's happening, but it does go on a lot longer than it should.
Yeah, it goes on for a bit.
Yeah.
I like the wife character though. She's nice.
Yeah.
It's so fun. She just says, "Baby, I give."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
help.
The
Like,
first
I
time we
help
see
you.
her, she's breastfeeding the baby, which is like, okay. And then Miyuki's just like, big tits.
booby.
At that point, I'm like, Miyuki, not now. Not here.
He's like, for fuck's sake.
It's
Just some
breastfeeding. Come on.
So then the camera pulled out and I went, I've seen bigger.
Why?
Come on!
I'm going to say I'm going to say smartly silent at this point.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, it's a fun movie and very kind of like emotionally grounded.
Yeah.
I mean, I just really like Satoshi-kun's stuff. I think he just does it really well. You introduce like the religious aspect of it
Yeah, like right and
right in the middle, and as soon as they find the baby, I'm like, oh god.
that first shot of the fucking baby Jesus, like I start the movie like you messed me like, oh, this is the same movie, just prepping me up and stuff. I start and then I immediately send like a screen cap of that like fake Jesus baby, and I'm like terrified, screaming.
Like, what in the Oh, literally him.
Yeah, I said, what in
literally
the sweet Jesus is? Oh, it's actually Jesus
Oh
himself.
my god, it's him.
Literally Jesus moment.
Literally Jesus.
I mean, they sprinkle the religious bits
Yeah,
here and there.
even though it has fuck all to do with it.
Hannah is just convinced this is a child of God.
Can I say, by the way, we stand a queen.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, love Hannah.
Love
She is
Hannah.
amazing. Also, the fact that they call, in the subtitles, they call Grandma Geezer.
Yeah.
Geezer grandma.
Geezer
Yeah.
Grandma. I'm like, weirdly, I kind of think that's adorable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which
it's usually
even
Miyuki,
points-
Miyuki that's saying that. Isn't
Yeah,
It?
which
Yeah.
Miyuki, which Hannah points out when Miyuki suddenly starts calling her Hannah-san. She's like, no,
No, that's not
I'm
how
your
we
geezer
work.
grandma.
Yeah.
Come on.
Go
This
back.
is not a dynamic.
Go
I'm
back.
supposed
This
to be
ain't
angry.
you.
Even though it's meant to be a very sweet kind of transition.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm very glad that was done relatively well.
Yeah.
Because I saw the date that this movie came out, and like
Same.
right when I realized it was a transgender character, I was like, oh, this could be a really good
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
But no, it's done very well.
I think it's that Kon just kind of always treats everyone as human.
Yeah.
And you can even see that in, like, you know, the Spanish characters. They're not, like, vilified.
Yeah, they're not stereotypes or
No.
anything.
They're just people trying to get by, and we kind of see that, and it's, you know, I think I watched, there's an introduction thing on the Blu-ray that I kind of watched, and it's mentions like undocumented, which is never really kind of specified in the movie. I was like, okay, it kind of makes sense. And given Japan being Japan, I was expecting, okay, this is gonna get and then that never really happened. Everyone's kind of treated with proper kind of like dignity of being
Which is very much in the
person.
Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Which makes this
Christmas.
again
Respect it.
a really good Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No KFC.
No KFC. Sorry.
I was expecting it.
Same.
I was
same. I was very disappointed.
I also really liked how they did the opening credits, where it was just kind of scattered on like billboards, and then I was like, why don't we see that more often?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's so fun.
Very diegetic way of doing it.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you can apply that to like something that isn't sound, but it's very diegetic way of doing it. Yeah.
The end credits thing with like the buildings dancing was a bit weird though.
Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is Paprika. What's going on?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is Colin really trying to get that out of his system while he can.
Yeah.
We need more dancing buildings.
That's the part where he like takes like a line. Make the buildings dance.
They shall wiggle.
Yeah, like he's been off at the entire movie,
Yeah.
and then right at the end, because it's Christmas, they're like, okay, you can have one.
The producer's just watching it like, wow, you made a normal movie. And he's like, hold up.
They dance.
Let's do this.
Gonna fucking dance.
I love you, Con.
Yeah. Sadly, I think I mentioned that he's no longer with us. He passed away in 2010 of cancer, I believe. So yeah, 4 movies.
He made some great movies.
Yeah.
Like he left a really good legacy behind.
did.
I think.
Again, perfect blue, literally perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It only just edges out this movie for me, I think.
Same.
But I'd have to rewatch Perfect Blue to really be fully confident.
Yeah.
I think.
I think in a sense of like, Perfect Blue is like the better movie, but I think in terms of rewatchability, Tokyo Godfathers is slightly...
It's more fun. It's less
it's
grueling.
less sort of,
yeah. It's not like sitting yourself down and torturing yourself for 90 minutes.
Yeah. I try to cut back on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the runtime I think is really good. Because there's some anime we've watched where I think it drags a bit.
Yeah.
We have talked about that. There's some anime that I think we talk about it goes on too long.
Yeah.
And it feels like it should be cut down a bit, and then on the other side, there's anime that we think could maybe be extended a little bit.
Yeah.
But this one felt like the right amount.
Yeah.
I think for like this story.
Definitely.
Because it just feels like such a, happy family Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You're watching this family of misfits.
Yeah.
And it's just sweet. It's the type of film you'd put on and watch with your family
Yeah.
on Christmas.
It's like the perfect sort of Christmassy sort of message
Yeah.
as well. Like it doesn't matter that they're like, well, it sucks that they're homeless, obviously,
Yeah,
but
but
like
everyone
they're
kinda
still
all finds their own family again
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
it. So I like to think that Miyuki goes home with her dad. Gin goes back to his daughter, and Hannah goes back to the bar.
yeah the sort of the angel tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole scene was great, but
I love that.
The way they introduces him with Jin almost dying, and he's like, "An angel. Would you like me to call an ambulance, or you want to come with me?"
He's like, ambulance.
Fucking rude.
yeah. The moment it got to the line where I was like, would you like my magic or like an ambulance? I was like, do angels offer ambulance?
Yes.
That's just a standard miracle.
That's where I was like, Satoshi gone. We are in real life. Don't start.
So, yeah, at that point I was like, if it was an actual angel, I was like, okay, this is too far.
But the wind catching
Yeah.
at the end is...
Okay, that's funny though.
That is funny.
Because it's like 3 different characters have almost fallen at that point, and then Hannah's falling. It's like God himself is just like, would you all just stop fucking falling? Christ.
I'm a little sad that at the end, apparently, the parents didn't keep the name Kyoko.
Yeah.
I mean, what if they already had a name picked
Yeah,
out?
that's-
But the baby got stolen, so
Look,
Yeah.
no, I got the rationality behind it, so I accepted it, but I was still a little disappointed. to see
Yeah.
it change the name.
Also, Jen's daughter's also named Kyoko. I think.
Yes.
No, it was the wife that was named.
No,
What?
it was
no,
the
it's the
daughter.
daughter, because he ran into the daughter who's a nurse.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought it was-
yeah.
No, it's because of the line earlier where they said, like, what was your wife named Kyoko or something?
No.
That's what Miyuki says to him, but
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
confused.
It's
Or got dumped by someone named Kyoko, I think.
Yeah.
But it turns out it was his daughter, which is mentioned at that point where he's like, I was a racer.
No, yeah, sure you were.
Yeah, sure.
Fucking sure.
Yeah.
I was
was at
at
the track.
the races.
I was at the track.
Yeah, betting.
Again, Satoshi Kon, he does the stuff where you really think something's happening, and then he just pulls a rug from under you. He's like, psych!
Yeah, because he's like, his daughter's like, mum ran the shop when you were gone. And they're
Yeah.
just like, shop? He's like, yeah, bike shop. And they're like,
And I was just
Huh?
like, the fuck?
And fucking gotcha. Out the halls of YouTube KFP
This
laughs.
bitch ass man said you were dead to get 70 points!
I love how Hannah's just calling him the
Yeah.
fuck out right
Yeah,
now.
but like, she also said, oh no, it's gonna be fine, because, if she's truly
Yeah.
his daughter,
Yeah.
she'll forgive
She's
him.
being the blue demon.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great story, by the way, that got
was
drops
a
in right
really
now.
nice
I-
bit. Yeah.
I was surprised that came up because I was watching it. I'm like, oh yeah, this Japanese kind of like fairy tale type.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's like very much like the moral type of
Yeah.
kind of thing we'd get told in like nursery. and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
that's
that.
exactly the vibe I got when it was being told.
So it's very prevalent in some other anime and stuff, and then it came up in this, and I was like, oh okay, I guess.
It did feel a bit, I don't want to say rushed, but like they're pulling at strings a bit to make it
Yeah.
make sense.
It's Christmas.
Yeah,
You
like,
gotta do that.
Again, it wasn't to a point where I was like, Jesus Christ, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just pulls you out of it a tiny bit, I'd say.
I thought it was sweet.
I think it's
sweet,
nice,
yeah.
but it's just an odd explanation for it. I think they could have maybe just let it lie
Let it sit,
after.
Yeah, but because if she just said, if she's a daughter of her father, she'll forgive
Yeah.
him. I'd be
It's
like,
better this way.
it shows Jin, and he's a very forgiving man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been enough. But I still liked it.
Yeah, no, I still like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
too. It did kind of remind me of Darling in the Franxx for a second, and we'll get to that in the next episode we record.
Great.
I look forward to it.
Also, I'll call it the ending sequence-ish, where Crazy Mama,
Oh yeah. The climax.
the climax, yeah.
yeah.
So turns out who they thought was the mother stole the baby.
Yes, yeah.
Not mother.
Love that.
So
Love
just-
that twist.
Amazing twist, because we had just, you get the story from two sides, and you're the knowing, reader, as they say.
Yeah,
The omniscient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, oh no,
Yeah.
Oh God.
oh no.
Please no.
And then Jin just says the line, she's gonna kill herself. I'm, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh no, this goes further than I wanted to.
I do like that, they chase her up the building and stuff, and it's like kind of building to the confrontation of
Yeah.
why did you steal the baby?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I immediately went, oh, she miscarried.
Yeah.
late in term as well. Yeah.
And then, that is what happened. I was like, yep, that makes
And
sense.
like in
Makes-
the ward, she saw
Yeah.
baby and she just sort of snapped.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't want to say, fair.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's understandable in terms of like a mind state, but
Yeah.
it doesn't make it right.
No,
obviously,
it's
but-
not. We can't
Justify-
commend that behavior.
No.
It's
Yeah.
not conscionable. But
Stop it.
we get it.
Not cromulent.
Like,
It's not a cromulent act.
as soon as she stood on the ledge holding a baby, I just had to. Surely they won't, right?
I was worried about that.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was absolutely terrified.
I was
Because
like,
again, we
Colin-
know this man.
Yeah, I
he's
was like-
done some stuff in his
Yeah,
movies.
I was like,
Yeah.
Colin, you can't kill a baby. You can't kill the mother who miscarried.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see any of the main characters die.
I
So
had,
how
like-
did he solve this? Jesus, baby.
Jesus, baby, who
God.
starts talking. Which I'm gonna be honest,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the point where it took me out.
yeah.
Yeah. What did the baby say again?
I wanna go home.
I want to go home.
At that point, I was like, okay, you went too far here.
I found that quite nice because it's clearly in her deranged state of
Yeah,
mind.
for it was more in that split second where it felt like I didn't realize it was at first, and I was like, okay, you've got a bit too fucking far here, mate. But
Because I don't think Miyuki
no,
sees
No,
that. I think it's very
absolutely
much
not,
like the
Yeah.
not mother's perspective of it, and she's
Yeah.
clearly realizing, oh, I should not have done
oh,
this.
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
Is it us? Are we the baddies?
Skulls on our helmets.
I kidnapped the baby. Doesn't mean I'm the baddie.
Am I the bad guy?
Are we the baddies?
I put a baby in a bin. Am I the bad guy here?
Nobody expects that.
We're just throwing out references now.
Look, Are We the Baddies is one of my favorite things.
Oh, it's so good. Got skulls on our caps.
Yeah.
Guys don't have skulls on their caps.
Oh, I love David Mitchell.
He's great.
So
He's half the reason I watch Goldie. Sorry.
Jesus, baby.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jesus baby.
There's
Or
a
not
lot of
Jesus, baby.
shit that is very close to killing these people.
Yes, and the
And
baby
for-
apparently just.
Yeah, and I don't know, a van straight up drives full speed into a store.
Oh, the ambulance.
Oh, yeah.
Where the guy gets out, looks at them, and goes, "Call an ambulance."
This
You are the ambulance!
this fucking movie hates vehicles
Yeah.
so much because about 20 minutes into the film we're they're just they first got the baby and Hannah's walking to a crosswalk whatever, a couple just gets fucking decked by a bike or whatever, never focused on.
No.
It just happens.
I wonder if that's meant to show that there's stuff going on around them, but unlike
doesn't
in
affect
other
them.
movies
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
that would affect them, it's it's avoiding them.
Yeah. Also, Taxi Man.
Yeah,
Love Taxi
love
Man.
Oh,
Taxi
Taxi
Man.
Man's great.
Taxi Man just gets this bunch of misfits in his
Yes.
car and is like, what? Go, follow,
love how
follow.
He's got two women yelling at him and he's like, okay.
I love how at the end of the movie they're in a completely different part of Tokyo, and he just
Yeah.
happens to pull up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's that kind of day.
Yeah.
It's a critique Manuel always has with films. It's like, how is everyone constantly running into each other?
Because it's Christmas.
Because plot.
Yeah, I'm
Also,
always
Jesus
like,
baby.
Jesus, baby.
it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, exactly.
This is how it works.
It's a miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle.
This movie hates vehicles so much. Like, every
yeah.
vehicle in this movie gets fucking destroyed at some point.
Yeah.
Tokyo is fucked.
Yeah, there's another truck that Crazy Mama steals.
Yes.
Yeah.
That gets driven into a
Which
building.
I'm pretty sure for
again.
trucks like that, you need like a separate license because they don't drive the same.
She didn't she just took the car.
Yeah, Michael, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think she cares.
No, but like in the sense that like the cars don't even function.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the same.
I think primary function is it's just things, you have a longer body that you gotta worry about.
I guess.
It's just safety things you gotta know. If you press the gas, it'll go forward.
Again, I don't think she cares.
That's true. Yeah, she does just barrel down there. She almost kills Geen like twice.
Yeah.
Fucking respect. Is it Geen? Because I keep wanting to say Jen.
I think it's Geen the way they pronounce it. in
Okay, the way Geen is like just becomes the action hero at the
Yeah.
end and is like holding on to the truck, almost getting like squashed and everything.
Well, that's the thing, because his bike gets fucking wrecked. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
And surely
where
don't.
is he?
Like at that
Just
point,
deflecting a blood smear.
at that point, I'm like, okay, you're made of plasticine now.
Yeah. And then he gets fucking thrown from it when it goes into the building
Yeah.
and like cracks himself on like a gold railing.
He's fine.
And he's fine.
He's fine.
He's like the baby.
He's got
Yeah.
the baby.
Oh,
The baby.
his only weakness is getting like kicked around by teenagers, but that's it.
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
time he ends up. Which again, is that meant to show that the baby's protecting them because he gets pretty fucked up? I don't know.
I think it just shows the
I think I'm
teenagers are
overthinking
assholes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can say that as a former teenager.
I love that Jin is basically, your parent with the pet they said they didn't want.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want this pet. It's like, this pet is now my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate this child. Can we please bring it to a police station I must save the baby.
Yeah.
I do love how they sort of sprinkle in that like at near the beginning where like it's Miyuko that's like getting like something and like she runs into like two guys and they're like, oh, we don't want to like tussle with you because then Jin will
Yeah.
like be on us because
Yeah.
No, I think it's Hannah that they're worried about.
I thought it was Jin.
No, I think it's Hannah,
I
which
swear.
makes way more sense.
Oh, I thought it was Jin.
Nah, I'm pretty sure they say it's Hannah.
Okay,
I mean, they're known as a family on the street, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, don't mess with the fam.
don't mess with them.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Hannah because Hannah's very much the more.
Violent.
I guess that's one way of putting it. I was gonna say vocal.
No, violent works.
Yeah, violent does work.
Passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just Hannah's character is so sweet to me.
Oh,
Just like,
yeah.
I just want a baby.
Yeah.
just want to
She
have a
just
little
want baby.
I love from the opening where like they're standing getting the food, and it's like they're talking about having a baby and stuff like that, and the woman serving them, Hannah just kind of like starts going off, and she's like, and then later when they have the baby, they're in like the subway, and the woman's coming down like the escalator after they like run away, and
That's
she's
the
like,
same woman.
that's her.
She
Okay.
like fucking snaps her neck, and she's like, it's a miracle.
It's a
Oh.
Christmas miracle.
Okay, that's what that
It's
was. I didn't
so
catch it.
quick. It is so quick.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's great. It's a great
It's
I did
callback.
almost
wonder
the
what that
same-
scene was because that
Yeah.
just seemed out of place
It's
for
the
me.
same as Miyuki just seeing her dad
Oh,
on the
yeah.
train next to me. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I was watching that and I was like, I was kind of thinking of watching this with my mum because it'd been like a Christmas movie
Yeah.
and stuff. And like, but there's always that thing with anime where it's like, well, it could be,
It could take a turn.
Yeah,
it could take a
exactly.
turn. It could be a bit harder to understand than
Yeah,
the
yeah,
average
yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then also that scene popped up and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm glad it didn't because my mum can't keep an internal monologue. So any questions she has,
Oh, who's that?
Oh,
yeah, she
boy.
would have been like, is that her dad? And I'm like, I don't know. Even though I'm thinking inside, like, that's her dad.
Yeah,
That's-
Oh, I immediately just went, Papa.
The screams, Papa.
Papa.
I can still hear the screams, Papa. It's my favorite. What the fuck, John John?
Oh.
I had had that moment where I was like, is that gonna be the dad? And then she turns around and starts freaking out. I was like, oh, that's the dad. That's
Yeah.
Climbs out a fucking window.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That whole scene, it's like the tension is like you feel more and more claustrophobic.
Yeah.
It's like, it cuts
Yeah.
to the dad and like who's calling. Like I'm guessing the mom or something, or like
I
the
think
police.
so, yeah.
But like,
He is the police.
shit, he is.
I am the
I am the police. But
call an ambulance. I am
the ambulance. But like then the babe, you've got the baby like crying her eyes out. You've got like people like going like that because everybody's stinking
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And like at that point, I'm like, yeah, I want to get out of this fucking train too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that like trains in Japan at the best of times are pretty packed.
Yeah.
So they're already claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And then you add everything going on
And
in
they're
that
stuck
scene.
because of the snow, so you
Yeah.
can't go anywhere.
Yeah, like even in my mind, I was like, oh girl, you gotta get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there. You know, you're stuck in a bus, and there's just either someone so loud, so annoying,
And
or
it's
there's
too
a smell,
much,
and you're
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I am so tempted to just get off and take the next one.
I'm tempted to smash open this window and jump out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's also when you're sitting next to the emergency exit and you're like, there's the like, break glass in case of emergency
see it.
thing, and
You're
you're
just-
like,
Is this technically an emergency?
Can I justify this as an emergency?
Can I justify this in court?
yeah. Or it's
Yeah.
like the buses that have like the weird kind of like handlebar thing where like during emergency you kind of like push and it opens
yeah,
out,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
just sitting there like,
Do it. Do it.
It's even if I have a stop button next to me, I could be in the middle of nowhere. I'll look at it and be like, could just get up. And
yeah.
just remove myself
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the situation.
I've had that on Journey's back from here.
Kids are scary.
Yeah. Anyway.
So what a wholesome Christmas movie.
That was a great
Yeah.
movie. I said to you that I'm almost tempted to put this in my annual Christmas movie rotation because it's really good.
I was kind of wondering like how Christmassy of a Christmas movie is this, because it's like, you know, there's Christmas movies that people are like, you know, Die Hard or
Yeah, it's not Christmas.
no,
It's
like
fucking
a
Batman
set-
Returns.
It's like it's set at Christmas, but it's not
Yeah.
necessarily a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it's not
Sometimes
about
it's just
Christmas.
the vibe.
Yeah. Whereas this one is like a bona fide
Oh,
Christmas
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Like the whole message, the whole story, the underlying, you know,
Starts
stuff.
with Jeebus.
Yeah, it's all very,
Yeah.
you know, Christmas movie.
Like the moment it starts with like the fucking nativity at the beginning, you're like, okay, this is gonna be a full-on
Yeah.
Christmas movie.
And I don't think it's because we've talked about trying to do a Christmas episode. We were like, there's
It's
Christmas
hard.
specials,
Yeah.
but then you'd have to watch the show.
Yeah.
So it was very nice, actually.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
exactly.
Because the thing with like Japan, Christmas isn't, you know, the same thing as it is here for in
As you can
Japan.
imagine, yeah.
Christmas is more like a couples thing for the most
Yeah.
part.
Aw.
Sort of
Families
like a prior Valentine's Day sort of thing.
a little bit. I
But
think it's more
not
just
quite, but, you
yeah. I think it's more just like a good time for couples to get together,
Go out and get KFC.
go out, get KFC, get all lovey-dovey, work off the
Romance is
calories.
KFC.
Yeah. Hey, for some couples it works.
Yeah. But it's way more of like a kind of commercial thing, and you know the country doesn't stop for it either, where
No.
like it does in the UK and the US
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Again, you can imagine.
Yeah, because it's, you know, it's a totally different belief system over there.
Yeah,
and it's,
exactly.
So it means
They weren't
that, like,
indoctrinated.
yeah, so it means
Christians.
finding Christmas movies or Christmas anime from Japan is very difficult. There's a lot of like, especially with romance animes, like Christmas episodes, where it's all about, you know, oh, we're gonna
Let's get the KFC.
KFC rarely comes up. I
finger
wanna
looking good.
I'm gonna fucking start beating the shit out of the Colonel soon.
That sounds like a
He's
euphemism.
an elderly man.
I don't care. Have you seen him? He's fucking jacked.
Have we all seen? Is it who plays the? Oh my god! There was this short film released on YouTube.
Have I
with
seen this?
The sexy Colonel.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I've
yeah.
seen that. Yeah.
Did you say Colonel?
Colonel.
Colonel.
Colonel. I know
It's
it's
a difficult
spelled
word
colonel,
for me.
but
It's not. You just replaced the L with an R.
But it's
Colonel.
Colonel.
yeah, but that's like popcorn kernels to me.
That's the way it's meant to be
I know
pronounced.
it.
I know
Meant to
it's
be.
stupid, but you just gotta go with it.
Fuck this language.
Oh, because your language is so much better.
Yeah.
No, your language is nonsense.
You call notes notities. You've got nothing to talk about.
But no titties.
But no titties. Titty food.
Tittyless.
Let me just take off my titty lips.
Just walk out. Wait, shit, I forgot.
Oh, fuck. I knew I forgot something today. Probably happened in an anime.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, my main point, to get back to it,
Yeah.
a lot of romance animes have like the Christmas episode where it's all about like, well, either there's the will they confess on Christmas, will they go on a date, will it work out, and will the friends fuck it up, or will they take it further? Will they hold hands?
You know.
in public?
In anime terms, will they hold hands?
Yeah, pretty much.
Too
Yeah.
lewd. Too lewd.
But like in terms of centric stuff, it's very rare, and I really didn't know Tokyo Godfathers was a Christmas movie until like we were getting ready to watch it. There is like a Christmas OVA that I was gonna stick in at some point. I can't remember what it's called
Next
though.
Christmas.
Yeah,
It'll be
next year.
next Christmas. And it'll give me time to like hunt other things out, maybe. Kind of just willing to pass on Christmas specials for Anime Lane at this point.
Tune in next year to see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll still be here.
Come hell or high water.
Hell or high water, yeah. So yeah, that was that's all of Cone's movies. All we've got left is
Yeah.
Paranoia Agent, which is a TV series. So we'll get to that at some point. But
Yeah,
I think everyone kind of thinks of Cone and thinks of the four,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the big four.
Millennium Actress, Tokyo Godfathers, and Paprika. So it's, we've done it.
We've done it.
Feels
Yeah.
weird.
I'm a little sad there's nothing more to watch
Same,
from him.
absolutely.
Honestly, yeah.
Because he is a stellar filmmaker.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like even with Paprika, we've already said that's still a good movie.
Yeah.
Even just technically.
Exactly.
And I wonder if it's that catch-22. He only made 4 movies, but they're all really good movies. But if he had made more and was still
Would they
alive
have
and still
sucked?
making movies, would
Yeah.
they still be as good, or would we end up with Makoto Shinkai, where Suzume wasn't
It wasn't quite
as good,
there.
and that's like his 6th or 7th movie, I think.
Yeah.
So
Like at that point, you're like, you can stop now.
yeah, like it took him so long to build up, and then you had Your Name, and that was great, and then you had Weathering with You, which was also great, and then you had Suzume, which was yeah,
Worms.
Your name and Weathering were so good. I actually got them on Blu-ray.
yeah, because the Christmas sales are going on right now. By the time this episode comes out, it won't be
Along
done.
with obviously a Lupin movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Yeah,
the first.
yeah.
And Promare.
Yeah, you got Promare, Lupin the first,
Yeah.
Weathering with You, and Your Name. I think that was
Yeah, that was all
it,
of them, yeah. So I'm growing a collection.
You're
now.
getting there. You're getting there.
I still need to watch Berserk that you gifted me.
You
Basically.
do. You do.
So scores.
Scores. This is tough.
I think I want to give it a 9.
I think I'm gonna give it a 9 as well.
7.5 for me.
Okay,
Why you gotta be so different, Melina?
that's interesting because I think Paprika's the only one you kind of gave like a low score
Yeah,
to
yeah.
for Coen movies.
I think I gave it like a 6. Didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm comparing it to his other works as well, which
Yeah.
I really, really liked.
Yeah.
Millennium Actress and Perfect Blue.
Mm.
And then this one I would rate just below those two.
It's
Okay,
funny
that's
because I
interesting.
would rate this I wouldn't say way higher, but pretty much significantly higher than I think like Millennium Actress.
Same.
Because I was a
Yeah.
bit more weaker on that.
Yeah, I think it's Perfect Blue, Tokyo Godfathers, Millennium Actress, Paprika.
Yeah,
I know
that's-
there's some
Yeah.
distance between Millennium Actress and Paprika, but again, it's not
Yeah.
like a bad movie.
Like it goes like for me, Perfect Blue, right underneath it is Tokyo Godfathers. There's a little bit of a gap, and then Millennium Actress, and then there's a bit of a bigger gap, and
Yeah.
then Paprika. I can't remember what my opinions on Millennium Actress was back when we first did it, but
I think mine were that it's kind of
It's a bit chaotic.
focused.
I want to say I was a bit more ambivalent even back then, but right now I'm definitely like.
was the Valentine's.
It was the Valentine's episode. Holy shit!
Welcome to Special Central.
Yay!
It's funny because this is way more fitting to the Christmas special
Then that was
than
the
that was to the
Valentine.
Valentine's one. But also, Pancreas was not fitting for the Valentine's one in the end, really, because they were friends. They weren't like.
Yeah.
But there was a little something.
We
something.
gotta do that better next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
Romance is such a weird thing with Japanese movies, though, because they're way more willing to do subtext and like
Yeah.
not commit to stuff, whereas it's like
American TV.
You gotta get
is-
battered over the fucking head with
You
it.
gotta get them together. You gotta
Yeah.
have them as a relationship.
Whereas
Gotta get the shippers happy.
Yeah.
I think anime is way more willing to kind of like build the friendship and then leave the ending to say, oh well, you know, they might get together, but it's
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
about
But I think that is just a difference between perhaps Western culture. We're very much like, they're fucking.
yeah. They fucked
they
before they've even like
fucking-
admitted to each
Yeah.
other.
And like, if I look at like the anime we've watched and K-dramas, it's so agonizingly slow.
Which can be both a good and a bad thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
it can be
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I would lean towards that. It's way more realistic.
Yeah.
And so I don't mind it.
Yeah, I kind of almost
Yeah.
prefer it.
Yeah.
I don't like romantic movies from, you know, the West, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because they're all the same fucking tired bullshit.
What?
Well, are you not happy the fact that Love Actually? We're in the 2 months where Love Actually is gonna be playing constantly.
God.
Have you seen Love
I
Actually?
have. I tried to get Manuel to watch it 2 days ago. He said no.
I could not give a shit about that movie.
I'll tell you guys what we watched instead, because that might be a fun topic
Okay.
for something else.
Okay. All I know is I've seen Love Actually like a couple times and like I can bear it, but you know,
Yeah.
it's
I
not
think
one of my
that's a good
favorite
way.
movies.
I've seen
Yeah.
clips, but I'm not willing to watch the full thing.
It's fine. You don't need to though.
I think it's like all of the Western ones boiled down to the same thing. It's either stuff like Love Actually, where they break up and they gotta get back together,
I mean,
or
Love Actually is all of them.
Yeah.
or someone's dying,
Oh yeah, that's
yeah, yeah.
classic.
like The Fault in Our Stars, which the book was actually pretty decent.
I've neither read the book.
I've
or
never
seen the movie.
watched.
Same.
I've seen stuff from the movie, and I'm like, yeah, okay. It's this the teen romantic
Yeah.
bullshit, you know.
It was the times, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was the time.
It was the style of
The
the
mid
times.
2010s.
Where all the teenagers were doing stuff.
Was it Shailene
killing,
Woodley that was in
yes.
that? Yeah, so she had that and
Divergent.
She did not make good choices.
Wasn't
at
it
that point in time.
also Ansel Elgort?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Oh my god.
Wow, they really made bad choices at that point in time.
Yeah.
Are they even doing anything right now? What are they doing now? Where are they at?
Ansel Elgort was cancelled, and in West Side Story,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Shailene Woodley was last that I saw her in Dumb Money, the movie about the.
Is that? No, I'm thinking of a different movie. I was gonna
It's
say the
the-
Kelsey Grammer one.
No,
but-
it's the GameStop one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know any of this.
Yeah,
It's like we're talking about food. It's just,
yeah. It's like, what's happening?
You're better off
I don't know what's
not
happening.
knowing. It's
He's like,
just
what's a spaghetti?
Who's touching the spaghetti?
anyway.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas.
This will be coming out 3 days before Christmas, I think.
Enjoy
22nd.
your Christmas.
So you can use this episode to get into the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
Um,
Get some nice festive music on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we find royalty-free festive
Oh,
music?
100%.
oh,
you
I'm
can.
just fucking not even looking for royalty free. I'll just put the actual copyrighted shit underneath it.
We're not making money off this episode. It's Christmas.
Just so you know, we're not here for the money. Would it be nice if we got
Oh, it'd be great if we could, but you know, there's still very much a passion project.
So yeah, have a good Christmas, guys. There's not going to be another episode until the new year because that's the way time works.
So happy New
Happy New
Year.
So happy New Year as
Happy
well.
Hogmanay.
There's still an Appcast episode after this one that's currently a free slot, but I think we'll do a video game thing for that.
Nice.
Because it's been a while since we've done
Yeah.
A
something.
No Girls Allowed episode.
Yeah, we haven't banned Melina
No.
in sort of like a year. We gotta fix that.
Yeah, and we've both played.
Get outta here.
We've both played a lot of games this year, so
God,
that's.
oh, I can talk about Resident Evil.
Oh,
I can
shit.
talk about Resident Evil.
You
for
got to
2
put up with me
hours.
talking about Final Fantasy 14 as
An
well.
Armored Core.
An Armored Core.
I
yeah.
can't wait to not be here for that.
We'll probably just do that over Discord or something. So if it sounds
yeah, we'll be
scuffed,
Sorry,
apologies.
but you know, if it's just us two, I feel like it doesn't feel right to just me come all the way
yeah,
over here.
no. Plus, that's something that's meant to come out on the 29th. So fuck at all having anyone here to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm looking forward to that now.
Yeah. So yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Happy Hogmanay,
Happy Hogmanay, Happy
as we Scots say.
holidays, whatever you may celebrate.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, happy holidays.
Yeah. It's anime isn't exclusively for people who celebrate Christmas and shit. So
I mean, Japan, they're not going to
Japan,
celebrate
no.
Christmas like unless it's the couple thing we just mentioned.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Celebrate whatever
Get
you want to
drunk.
celebrate.
Just
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, happy Hanukkah will be over.
I don't know enough about
I hope
Hanukkah,
you
I'm
had
so
a
sorry.
nice
I hope you had a nice seasonal holiday.
Happy
whatever it may
winter.
be. Happy winter.
happy season.
Just have fun, for fuck's sake. You're allowed to.
The Conservatives will be fucking having a heart attack over the fact that we're trying to include other people.
Fuck them.
happy
Fuck
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see you guys in the new year. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.